Hey Budget fam, it's Jordan from Jordan Budgets. Today I'm going to share my 2023 projected budget with you guys. So I have been cash stuffing on this channel for a year. I've been cash stuffing and cash budgeting myself for a couple of years. This is the first year though that I've really gone like preemptively planned. Usually I'm tracking spending as I'm going and I'm like hoping and praying along the way. This is the first year that I'm really sitting down at the start of the year. I'm going to really meticulously plan income and expenses throughout the year. So I'm looking forward to, at the end of the year, discussing how we did budget-wise and looking back on this video and seeing if we hit the goals that we thought we were gonna hit. I do want to say right off the bat too, everybody's income is different, everybody's bills are different. I know some of you are paying more rent than me, some of you are paying less rent than me, some of you would love to have my income, and some of you think that I am still a peasant. So, you know, I just wanted to put that out there. I know we all have different income streams. I know we are all doing different things. Our families are all different. I'm a single mom who runs a business off of this income. This is my business income as well. So please stick it out and sort of see how my business does dramatically change what I'm actually taking home. But I am running a business with this income. I also am homeschooling 2 boys, and because I'm a single mom homeschooling 2 boys and running a business by myself, there are certainly homeschool expenses that I wouldn't necessarily pay if we were a 2-parent house and if I weren't a working mom. So keep things in consideration when you're looking at my budget. If you guys come after me in the comments, we will not get future videos like this. But I do strongly believe that sharing our incomes and being more transparent when it comes to money talk, I think that's important. I think it's good for all of us. So as long as we can be nice to one another, we will continue doing these kinds of updates and doing these kinds of things. So now that that is out of the way, let me tell you guys what I expect to make from Etsy and YouTube, what I'm sort of hoping and planning. Also, what I expect to spend bills-wise, variable spending like my weekly spending, how much that adds up to, as well as those random things that pop up throughout the year. We're gonna talk about all of those things. At the end of this video, I will also take away some of the expenses to kind of show you guys what I would cut right off the bat if I weren't running a business and what I would cut if I weren't homeschooling. So we're gonna kind of play with this budget. I did make a copy of this so I won't mess up my actual budget, but we will play with this at the end of the video just to kind of talk about how guinea pigs. But at the end of the video, we will talk about how I would shift this budget if I had less income and if I wasn't paying business expenses and things like that. So let's jump into it. I am screen sharing here. I will say this is not my document. I will link who I bought this from on Etsy. I have tweaked a lot of it to make it work for me. I do love this document. I love how simple and easy it is to lay out to see an annual budget. We will go ahead and start over here with the income summary. I'm looking down because I'm looking at my computer, the same screen that you are looking at. I'm expecting to make $1,000 every single month from Etsy as an average. Some months I'm making more than that, some months I'm making less than that. Also, I'm talking about money that actually hits my bank account. Now, there are business expenses that come even after this hits my bank account, but I'm expecting it to average out to about, YouTube is the same as Etsy. Some months are much higher, some months are much lower. So when it all averages out, y'all, I'm filming in the living room and the guinea pigs, they just have to drink the whole time. Hold on. Sponsors and affiliates is our next category. I'm expecting / hoping to make about $4,000 for sponsors and affiliates. Sponsors and affiliates would be new to my channel, and I do have a sponsorship lined up later this month, like a couple days actually. I'm very excited about that sponsorship. But sponsorships and affiliates I'm very picky about, and so far I've just said no to them. But I have started seeing that some brands that are reaching out to me at this point I do really want to work with. So I'm trying to make the time for sponsorships and affiliates, and I'm only hoping to make about $4,000 for 2023. Now, it would be great if I make more than that. We're gonna talk about sort of my wishes and my dreams for if my income is greater than this. The planner line, I also just kind of left that blank for now. Of course, I hope that I have a planner line this year, but since it is not an already established business, I'm still in the process of getting that business started. I left that blank, but of course, I do hope that there will be a planner line this year. I don't want to bank on it financially wise, like as far as my budget goes, but I don't see why it wouldn't happen this year because I do have things really lined up. So all in all, the money that I expect to come in this year is $70,000. There's business expenses in there though, so hold on a second, let's go through that. Come down to monthly expenses, weekly expenses, and then short-term savings, which is more of those like random things that pop up. Monthly expenses are like my bills. So bills, I have rent is $1,400 per month. So total, I'm gonna pay $16,800 for rent this year. I do hope to stay in my current rental, and I'm hoping the price will stay the same. That is the negative of renting, is every year is a gamble on one, if the rental is still gonna be available, if the price is gonna go up. Like there's just some things you can't really know, but I'm expecting it will stay the same. I'm expecting to stay in the same house, and it should be $16,800 for that bill. Car, I have a new to me car. It's a 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I really wanted a more reliable vehicle, so I'm considering that debt worth it to me. So that car is $410 per month. Total, that's gonna be about $5,000 in just the car note this year, but we do hope to put a little bit more on that. We'll talk about that in a second, but $5,000 just covers our basic bill for the car for the year. Power, my power bill is about $120. Sometimes it's less in the winter time. Sometimes it's more in the summertime. I'm in South Mississippi, so that AC runs 24/7 in the summer. So $120 is about my average. That would be $1,440 for that power bill for the rental house. AT&T, that is who I have my internet through. I pay $87 per month. This is one of the bills, I think the only bill. This is the only bill that I have that I really would like to call around and see if I can get this lowered, but right now it's $87 per month. That's $1,040 for the year. Couple more bills and then we will move on to my weekly expenses. Water bill for the house is $65-ish per month, so that's $780 for the year. And then gas for the house, I really don't use it much at all during the summertime, but during the winter, the house is heated off of gas, not electric. So it averages to about $42 per month. That's $500 for the year. So my bills total are $25,560. That is just rent and roof over my head type bills. This is really my first year to do an annual budget, like I said, sort of at the start of the year, and to see my bills, like my monthly bills, all together at $25,000, over $25,000 is just like, oh my gosh. How are we surviving? You know what I'm saying? Weekly expenses. So let's total out the weekly expenses. Groceries, I'm hoping to spend about $115 per week. At this point, with the way grocery prices are, $115 a week is really kind of putting it on the minimal side, but I'm hoping to cut it down to about $115 per week, which would be $6,000 per year. Homeschooling expense, guys, it is $350 per month. That is because my boys are in an all-day co-op that is a drop-off program 1 day a week. And then we go to the aquarium or somewhere fun that is a bit more pricey 1 time a month. Like we pick different random places. And so that could be cut, but it is such a, like, it's fun. It's something we really enjoy. And that day where they are homeschooling at the co-op, I really need that to get some work done. So I pay $4,200 per year just in homeschooling costs at this point. And honestly, I have cut that way down. This last year, 2022, I spent so much money because I had them in so many different little things, thinking I was saving money and really shuffling them around so much I wasn't getting any work done. So to pay for the more expensive co-op 1 day a week where I just get to drop them off, 1,000% worth it. That is a big expense though, $4,200. Fun money, that is fun money for the month, like $200. I don't know if it's South Mississippi specific, but I feel like every other week, like there's the circus here, or there's some kind of crawfish festival, there's Disney on Ice. There's always fun things to do with the kids. So I do budget about $200 per month for just fun things to go do with the kids. And that totals out to be $2,400 per year. Gas for the car is about $150 per month, which totals out to $1,800. Something for the house, general shopping, $80 per month. and that's lowballing it if I'm being quite honest. That totals at $1,000 per year. Fast food is the only other one, $50 per month, $600 per year. That puts our weekly expenses alone at $16,000. So I'm trying to blow through this really quickly. Sorry if I'm going too fast or this is too tedious. Let me know in the comments how you guys like a video like this, because I would love to do sort of a check-in maybe every quarter or so, and I want to know format-wise what you guys really want to hear from me versus what is like too much information or what I'm going through too fast. Just let me know. Maybe I should silence my phone. Before we do short-term savings here in the middle, let's jump over to subscriptions. I do have Epic Books for the kids. Highly recommend if you are a homeschooling parent or just a parent whose kids love to read. It's basically books on an app, like on a platform, and they're really good books. So Epic Books is $132 per year. Adapted Mind, could do without it, might do without it, might cancel it out. It's $360 per year. It is a homeschooling like school app. Apple is Apple Storage, and then I don't know what this app is, but Apple total is $168 for different Apple storage needs on my phone. Disney Plus is the only streaming service that I pay for, and I pay $144.80 per year. So total in subscriptions, I pay $804. I honestly don't think that's too bad. I did maybe a month or two ago though go through all of my subscriptions and cancel a lot of things that kind of snuck up on me. So if you have not done that recently, I highly recommend doing that. Before we go to short-term savings, let's also just go to work really quick. I expect to pay about $12,000 in work expenses just right off the bat. There are subscription fees that I have for work. If you guys would like to see a work specific like breakdown of how much I'm spending, I could also do an update like that every single quarter if you are interested. If you don't know, my Etsy shop is a budgeting shop, and everything is basically sticker and paper products. So when I'm ordering like bulk amounts of paper or when I'm sending things off to the printer, those expenses can vary month to month, but on average, I would like to spend $1,000 per month this year. There is a way that I would like to work a little bit more business expenses into my budget. We will talk about that when we get over to this like extra category. But before we do that, let's jump over to short-term savings, which I'm considering more like those random things that come up once a year. So 100 envelope savings challenge. I would love to put $5,050 into the 100 envelope savings challenge. For me, that would be going towards my debt in my car, like the new car that I got, paying off some of that. Summer camps for the boys is a big priority for me, again, because I'm a working single mom and they are homeschooled. So summer, it's almost flip-flop. Like summer camps is the time where they're away from me a lot more. So it is worth it for me to get some work done in the summer and for the boys to get to socialize with all of their public school friends. So I consider that really important if we can make it work. $2,000 per year. Birthday parties for the boys, their birthdays are back to back. I don't know yet if we're gonna try to do like a small trip or if they want a birthday party or if they want a big gift from me. But either way, I plan on spending about $1,000 for whichever one they decide. Insurance for the car is about $1,500. Medical for myself is $1,500. Clothes for me and for the boys, I'm planning on spending about $1,000. That is dramatically cutting from how much we have previously spent. In shoes alone, I probably spend $400 on the kids. I do really like them to be in nice clothes as well, but while I prefer the shoes to be brand new, I don't really care if the clothes are brand new. So I'm going to try to shop secondhand for their clothes, stick to new shoes for them. I don't need any new shoes this year. I have everything covered and everything is still pretty new. I might need a little bit of clothes, but again, I think I'm really gonna focus this year when it comes to our clothing needs on getting used clothing, cutting our clothing bill down to about $1,000 for the year. Car maintenance, I expect to pay about $800. It's a newish car, so I hope nothing major happens, but just like oil changes and those things that need to happen for the car. 800-ish is my budget. Penny challenge. So penny challenge is Christmas money for me. I plan on saving about $700 towards Christmas by doing that penny challenge with you guys. And then haircuts for me and the boys, I plan on spending about $400, which to me sounds like a lot, but I was quoted at getting my hair cut and colored for about $400. So as long as I only do cuts and the boys get cuts when they need it, I'm planning on it being about $400 total. So with everything tallied up, now that everything is check marked, it is going to let us know our money out that we expect to have going out. is $68,314 and our money in is $70,000. That is my expected or planned money. I do feel like I should have added, I was thinking about this recently, I don't have any like makeup or products or anything on here, and to be quite fair to myself, I haven't really spent much money on that. I'm gonna go ahead though for this year and add a $200 budget towards self-care. I don't need a lot, but if I want to treat myself to something, I don't want to give myself the excuse by saying it's not in the budget. If you are somebody that overspends on your self-care, then maybe you don't want to prioritize that as much. I'm somebody who really fails at it, so I need to make sure it makes it on my budget. So we are still under on the money out than like what we expect to come in. Now, let me go ahead and tell you guys what I plan to do if there is extra money, and then we will talk about what I would change and what I would do if there is less money. So to keep it simple, because you guys know counting is not my strong suit, let's just say I made $100 extra for the month. If I was able to stay on budget, if I didn't overspend anywhere, I would be able to take $10 of that 100 and put towards vacation savings. I would be able to take $10 and put towards spending. I really enjoy buying little things for the house, so I could start a little savings fund for spending. I would put $30 towards investing, which is not something I've ever made a priority, unfortunately, but I really need to. And then I would spend 50% to pay off the car. That would be $50 out of that 100. There is a huge part of me that really said, everything that I make over, I need to just spend it on paying off the car. But I know me, I know myself, I need to stay motivated. If I stay on budget and if I get this extra 100, then I'll get to stash a little bit away for vacation, a little bit extra for spending, and you will see in my short-term savings, I did not put any categories for travel or anything like that. So I almost set my budget up in such a way that I have to hustle more, I have to do more to try to get some vacation money to be able to set aside for myself, if that makes sense. $70,000. I know you guys are thinking like that is a lot. At least if you would have said that to me last year, that I would have made about this amount of money. I'm just realizing, I don't even think I said, I based my expected income off of sort of what happened for 2022. So hopefully I keep trending forward, but this is sort of, you know, the basics of what I needed and what I made in 2022. So if you would have said to me a year ago that 2022 was gonna go this well, I would have been like mind blown. But also some of you might be looking at this and like, I have no idea how she pulls all that off with that amount of money. But if you are somebody who is saying 70,000 is a lot, let me just tell you, if I take out that 12,000 for work expense, that really only leaves, that's really only about a $56,000 budget. And then if I were to take off the homeschooling, and so if I were to take off homeschooling, that brings us down to a $52,000 budget. So I'm sure there's other things too that we could bring down. I would definitely get rid of this Adapted Mind and Epic books next. I would do away with summer camps because that's not really a necessity. That is just because we homeschool and because I need those work hours, like I said. So if I were to get rid of summer camps and then some of the homeschooling-y things, that would bring us down to more like a $50,000 budget. I am very sure there's going to be things that pop up that I realize I didn't even budget for. Off the top of my head, even right now, as I'm closing out this video, I'm thinking, oh, I did not put sports money in here. My boys are in sports. So this is not done. This annual budget is something I'm going to continue working on. As I spend money, I'm going to transfer monthly budget information over to this as well, so I can kind of know, like at the end of, so for example, at the end of January, I'm going to come through and say, I spent $115 on insurance. So I'm going to be able to track how much I'm actually spending month to month and how much is still left in that category, if you will. And then for these extras, if there is extra income, I will be able to start saying vacation, I have $10 in that fund and whatnot. And you guys know, if you're familiar with this channel, I do cash budgeting. We are talking about budgeting all the time. So none of this is going to kind of get lost or away from me, or at least it should not. If you guys are interested in seeing this spreadsheet every quarter, just to kind of do a little check-in, let me know. I would love to do that. Also, if you want a budget specifically for the business, again, let me know that. But that is it for this video. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, please go ahead and leave them in the comments below. So that is it for today's video. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. As always, I love you, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.